Hi guys, welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at how to create a cool looking neon light text effect. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is to load up our background image, which is a brick wall texture. We're going to load that into Photoshop. Once it's loaded, then we can add a new adjustment layer. We're going to add a hue and saturation adjustment layer. And we're going to turn down the saturation to about -60 there. And then we're going to add another adjustment layer. This time it's going to be a levels adjustment layer. Crank up the midtones a little bit and turn down those highlights and darken the whole thing up a bit. Once we've done that, going to add yet another adjustment layer, this time a solid color. We're going to make that black and then turn down the opacity on that. So turn that down a bit until you get it to the level just where you feel happy. Okay, and once that's done, we're going to start adding our text. Now I've left a link in the description of where you can get this particular font along with the link to the background image there. And so I'm going to pick a colour now, and I'm going to go for a purple colour, purpley colour. We're just around there, and then click OK on that. Okay, cool. Now we can add our text, so I'm just going to write the word neon in there. Once you got the text that you want, just position that up using the arrow there. Commit that change by pressing on the tick. Then go to the FX and select the drop shadow. Now you want to change the opacity to 90%, angle -90. Make sure use global light is checked and use all the other values I put in here. Add an outer glow. Change the blend mode to color dodge. Opacity at 100%. Noise to 10%. Change the color here. Now I've used FFFFBE. That gives us a nice light yellow colour. So crank up your size, and you can see a little preview there. Next we want to add some inner shadow. Make sure the blend mode is set to colour burn. Opacity is at 100%. Use global light is checked. And the distance, make sure all those settings are as they are in there. Okay. Once you've got all that set out, we'll move over to the bevel and emboss. So choose an inner bevel, and for technique, choose chisel hard. For depth, add that value in there. And add the size as the values as they are on screen. Make sure use global light is checked. Highlight mode set to color dodge. For contour, use the inverted cone, or cone inverted rather. And yeah, for highlight mode you choose the color dodge. Have it at 100% opacity. Multiply for the shadow mode and set that to opacity of around 40 to 45%. Okay, so now we got our text in there with some FX on it. Make a copy of the text layer, turn off the inner shadow, outer glow and drop shadow, just keep the bevel and emboss. and then change the color to white for the actual text itself. Turn down the opacity way down, maybe between 40-50% there. On your original text layer, turn down the fill to about 75%. Come back up to your new layer, add a layer mask to it. Start brushing in so you can see some of the layer underneath by using the black paint on there. Just to give it more of a subtle effect. Just keep going until you've got all the letters done. Now select your original text layer and make a copy of it. Drag it up so it's the top layer. Remove the effects. Convert the layer to a smart object. Go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Change the radius to 100 pixels. Right, now you can put that in a group if you want to keep your layers tidy. And then we're going to add our second piece of text down here. This time I'm going to turn down the size of the font a little bit and change the color to a nice yellow color. Hit OK on that and then type the word light. Okay, but you can use whatever text you want to use, obviously, and I'm going to use this one. I'm going to transform it and then have the text going in an angle. There, I'm also going to do the same with the neon one, because it looks a bit weird having one straight and one at an angle. Okay, and I'm going to commit that. Right, now we want to add some effects to this, so we're going to do the same effects as we did with the last one, so we should still have all our effects in there, so just going to check that they're all as I think they should be. So that's drop shadow and outer glow. Then we want to add an inner shadow. Make sure we got that. Make sure those settings are correct, and then go up to bevel and emboss. Make sure those settings are correct. Press OK on that one. Okay, next we're going to make a copy of the light layer. Do similar to what we did with the last one. We'll remove some of the effects and just keep the bevel and emboss. Go up to the color and change it to white. Okay, on this one we can change some more of the effects. Change the bevel and emboss to smooth. Let's change the depth. Okay, now let's convert that layer to a smart object. Make sure to select the original text layer and change the fill to 75%. And then on our smart object layer, want to go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, 100 pixels, click OK. And then change the blending mode. You can change that to linear light. Do the same for your neon text layer. Now I'm going to go back to the solid color layer, which was black, and I'm going to paint black on the layer mask, and this will kind of remove some of that black color so we can see the lighter brick wall behind it. This will give us a nice effect of looking like the neon light is lighting up the background. Just turn down your opacity on your brush to about 80% and just paint in black on there. And just very gradual and subtle around the sides. Just going to paint a bit of it back in where I did a bit too much. Do that by choosing white and painting on the mask. Okay, so turn off some of your layers, basically, so only the 2 text layers, well I say 2, but all the layers referring to the text, and then just do a merge of all of them onto a new layer. So to do that, do a Control Shift Alt and E at the same time, put all that on the one layer, but make sure your background layers and your background adjustment layers are turned off when you do it. Make a couple of copies of the text layers, change the blending modes to screen, turn down the opacity as I'm doing here. Try a few different blending modes, see what you like, see what works for you. Just make sure to keep it subtle by turning down the opacity. Add a new adjustment layer, another solid color. Type in 9CF7AF for your color in here, your block color. Then press the OK button. Change the blending mode to divide. Turn down the opacity on that one. Select the layer mask for that solid color adjustment layer. And start painting in around the sides of the background. So that we just have a nice part in the middle where the text is, making that look all nicely lit up. Next, select your other solid color layer, your black one. I basically only selected this because I wasn't happy with the amount of darkness on there before, so I'm just tinkering around with it until I get something that I'm happy with. You may not have to do that. Add a new layer. Select Color Dodge and just grab a bit of color from the yellow of the text in light and just real subtle paint some little blobs of color in there. It'll give us a nice look of light just coming out of there. Okay, create another layer and just change it to Color Dodge again, and then paint in a bit of purple on the neon text there. Give it some cool looking light effects. Alright, just do a little bit on each letter. You can keep it quite nice and subtle. Don't overdo it. Once you've done that, you can add a new adjustment layer. This time choose the color balance adjustment layer. Tinker around with the values. What you want to do is you want to get some purpley color, which is going to go in the background of the neon text. So once you're happy with the values in there, just close that properties section up. Yeah, invert the mask, and then once you press OK, you'll see it's like just back to normal. So we'll come over and grab the white paint and then brush onto that layer mask a bit of white near and over the neon text, and that'll give us a bit of purple in the background, a bit of purpley blue. And we'll add another adjustment layer. Color balance again. So we're going to add another color balance. This time we're going to do the light, the yellow from the word light. So we're going to try and make it a yellowy orangey color in the bricks around where it says light. So I'm just playing around with that. Got a bit too much green in it now, so need to try and get rid of some of that green. And then do the same again, invert the mask, press the OK button, then make sure you got your mask selected, paint some white in there, give us a nice yellowy colour. Here we go, painty painty painty, all in there. Okay, I'm going in a bit small and I'm painting black now inside the text to get rid of some of that excess, and going through all the letters in there. Probably really boring for you guys to watch, but hey ho, you might have to do the same, or you might have a better way than what I've done it, and then you can tell me and say, you've done it totally wrong. You shouldn't be making tutorials. Okay, get rid of that properties. I just adjusted it again because I felt there was too much green in there. Okay, so that's the end of this tutorial. I hope it's been helpful, and if you like these videos, please subscribe or give the video a like, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you very much. Cheers guys, bye bye.